Whenever I watch my colleagues' videos on a piece of news, before I've covered it, I'll see commenters saying Blame Truth is going to have a field day with this. And I usually do, but in this instance, this is more of a funeral. I'm not even really going to get loud this video because, quite frankly, I've lost all passion for this franchise. And instead, I'm just going to give you guys the facts, and we're going to go through everything now that everything's kind of settled. Honesty just evades these people at Activision, and I don't want to be like that. So right away, I'm going to say, please like this video. If you never like another one of my videos, leave a support comment because I want as many people to see this as possible. Another bit of honesty is I need money to live. So here is a sponsored segment before we get into the meat and potatoes. Today's video is sponsored by Opera GX, and this is my browser of choice as an avid FPS gamer that plays his games at high frame rates at very high settings. I don't want anything getting in the way of my actual FPS experience, and Opera GX gives me complete control when it comes to that, as well as looking pretty damn cool to boot. Gaming websites in particular love to spam pop-up ads constantly, but Opera GX comes with a built-in ad blocker, and might I say, it works very, very well. But on top of that, it also comes with a VPN, so Mark Zuckerberg can't spy on you when you're checking on your Aunt Gertrude in Facebook Messenger. That man's a creep. Opera GX also comes with the GX control set, so you can limit your bandwidth, you can limit your CPU usage, you can limit your RAM usage, and more. Guys, this is the perfect complement to keeping my browser up while I game. With other browsers, I have to just shut them off entirely, and it's just a pain to open them back up and Alt-Tab and all that mess. But Opera GX has thought of all of this, and I can dial in everything exactly how I want it. Speaking of dialing in everything exactly how I want it, GX Mods. This is the perfect cherry on top of the Opera GX sundae for customization. You can go to the store, pick out various themes which change your browser experience, from the visuals all the way to the sounds, all the way to the mouse pointer, even your cursor. Here are just a few of my favorites. I'm kind of a retro wave guy. I like old stuff, so I tend to gravitate towards things that look cool. Also, I like to combine the mods, which is something you can do in Opera GX, and these are the current settings I have with the different themes, and you can mix and match however you want. And for those who are extra lazy like I am, Opera GX offers a quick import tool. It's as simple as what you see here. Go to the settings, click import, and you're pretty much done. So guys, get Opera GX now. I absolutely love this browser. Been using it for years. Definitely check it out. Hit up the link in the video description or the pinned comment and download it now for free. Your PC is begging you to do this. Trust me, get it now. All right, thank you, Opera, for putting food on my table, because covering this franchise, I don't think it's going to do it anymore. Where do I even begin here? Where do I even begin? I feel like for the past 7 years, I've been vilified by the overall Call of Duty community for the simple fact that I call things exactly how I see them. I call things exactly how they are. And I have a good track record for being right continually over this past 7 years. When I am wrong, I admit it, and I correct myself in a future video. I try to always just be honest about what's going on. And I'm sorry that's not rainbows and sunshine, but you're dealing with a $1 trillion company that wants nothing more than to take your money every single year by any means necessary. You've probably seen it in this decade overall. Just everything is shit. It pretty much is shit. And people are tired of it. Overall, this decade has been a disaster, and this franchise has sort of led the way as far as gaming goes. If I'm being completely honest with you, it's scummy and shitty. What am I talking about? I guess let's just get right on into the meat and potatoes here, because I got a lot I want to get off my chest. So let's consult Exhibit A. So they finally addressed the matchmaking rug pull they did with Black Ops 7, which was actually a rug pull of a rug pull that they pulled from the beta to the full release of Black Ops 7. Hard to keep up with. So now in Black Ops 7, for whatever reason, there are 3 different matchmakings, but I digress. Let's read what they have to say. We understand there are still open questions around matchmaking and some confusion about what we've shared. So we gathered some more details to shed light on where things stand going into the MW4 beta. Short version, the initial batch of data, you can hear that word a lot, data is showing strong improvements with the new system. Here is what we are seeing in a thread. But the tweet doesn't exactly end there into the next one, because These fucking bastards got community noted for openly lying to us, not just on one tweet, but their whole fucking thread. So let me just cover the first community note here, okay? The comm notes state that Activision's SBMM paper, based on an A/B test of MW3 players, claimed reduced SBMM hurts retention. But in 2025, BO7 launched with SBMM vastly reduced by default anyway, contradicting their own data backed claims. They often publish data without proper context and framing. And when you really just sit down and think about it, if you have more than two brain cells working in your skull, you can see that the data they presented with Modern Warfare 3 does not match anything they tried to present us with Black Ops 7. In fact, they even said before Black Ops 7's launch from the beta that the data was pushing them to go open with their matchmaking. And in the following tweet, which you're about to see, they directly contradict that. And they, again, get community noted, but I'll cover that in just a second, in due time, of course. So they say, first, players are sticking around longer and playing more matches when it comes to Black Ops 7's matchmaking with the new classic, quote-unquote, matchmaking system. I'm air quoting so hard, I'm about to start like some kind of butterfly effect hurricane in Bangladesh or something, but anyway. Since Season 5, quit rates are down across every skill group. For more than half of players, they dropped 41%. Search times are also down versus Season 4. Average ping has improved too. Of course, time of day, location, and your connection still impact your experience the most. Let's just cover the comm note immediately here, and then we'll get into some examples. Community feedback, including videos, matchmaking benchmarks, and graphs, claims significantly increased search times, with search not being nearly comparable to Black Ops 1 and 2. Exclusive Ace made an in-depth testing video on the subject. Not just him, but anyone around will tell you that the matchmaking is much slower. Anyone who still plays Black Ops 7, God help you, will tell you that the matchmaking across the board has been slower, the game's laggier. And, you know, this is it's just dishonesty at this point. It's utter gaslighting. There's no other word for it. And there's no proof. They're just saying stuff. There's no actual quantifiable published data for any of this stuff they're saying. None of it. Guys, I could go on Twitter right now and I could say, I have a 9-inch cock, but it's flat like a beaver's tail, and I use it to dam up my local streams so that I can go fishing with my titanium lightsaber fishing rod. I can say all of that, but if I don't show proof of any of that, then I'm just talking. And the fact that this company can say these things, never show us an ounce of physical evidence or even like published digital evidence, it should be a crime, but somehow it's not. I've seen videos. I've seen people covering this game. I've seen content creators covering this game. I've seen comments of people that play this game all over Reddit. I have not seen one person, not one, say that their matchmaking times are faster and the games are less laggy. I've seen no one saying any of the things that they are tweeting here. If anything, more people are quitting outright, and I do have actual data to support that claim, even though they say that people are quitting less. I mean, when I say quitting outright, I mean putting the game down for good, putting Call of Duty down for good. And I have that data right here, and it's public for everyone to see, and it's as raw of a piece of data you can get. Look at this. Good old Steam charts. This was taken today, August 20th, 2026. And I want you to look at the last 2 months in particular, July and August. Actually, June as well, to be completely honest with you, because there was a bump in players. Now, this is hard data here. This does combine Black Ops 7 and Warzone, but Warzone, from what I'm seeing, pretty stagnant. The people still on that game are miserable and they're addicted. But there is Black Ops 7, which is ever changing. And if we look at June, they actually broke their, what is that, 3-month long player decline. And the reason for that was the classic mode introduced into Black Ops 7, where you're playing on old maps with the old movement. Obviously, it's not as good as Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1, which we'll get into as far as data goes in just a second. But it did make people want to play Black Ops 7, and they broke their declining player base. That is like factual fucking data. That happened in June. In June, the players go up. We can deduce by logic and basic fucking understanding that that mode that a lot of people talked about and made videos on, content creators, I mean, that mode single-handedly got Black Ops 7 to turn their dropping player count around. And I can reference Battlefield 6 with that as well, who have turned their player counts around with their great past couple of season updates. So, it's not hard to deduce what's causing these numbers to go up and down is what I'm trying to get at. If we look at July, though, we see a substantial drop, a drop that was nearly as bad as April. And in a lot of ways, it's worse than it looks because they lost the gains they made in June and lost players on top of that in July. In July, do you know what they did towards the tail end of July? They changed the matchmaking. They took out open matchmaking out of the main playlist and put in classic matchmaking, meaning that the game now had 3 matchmaking systems: standard, open, and then classic. Yeah. Well, classic went over like a fart in church. They said it was inspired by Black Ops 1 and 2, but no one knew what the fuck that meant, and they didn't clarify anything until these tweets that I am showing you today in this video. However, we can deduce through basic logic, reasoning, and understanding that this change was wholly unpopular, because not only did they lose players in July, they lost more players in August when they refused to remove it and change it and guinea pig test us for a fucking month. For those not in the know, what they described in that tweet was not what we got with the matchmaking system. We got basically what was Modern Warfare 2019 matchmaking, which is an SBMM riddled, long time to match, laggy, disgusting, manipulative gaslighting mode that we've seen for the past several years. They lost 5% of their players in August, and August is only 2/3 of the way over as of making this video. This is the biggest player drop since March 2026, which historically has always been a pretty bad month for Call of Duty and sees player drops because the game loses its luster after a few months, after the honeymoon period of November and December. But this is not good heading into the next Call of Duty. And wait just a minute here. I have more data, which I don't know why they're not referencing this. This is the most important piece of actual fucking data that I'm going to show you. Look. From the launch of Modern Warfare 2022 on Steam until now, they have lost over 90% of their player base as far as the peak players are concerned. And they've basically lost that, nearly 90%, on the average players. Now, if we actually take that data and we see a 90% drop in players, wouldn't that tell you way more about the data and the player behavior over just testing for one single month in Black Ops 7? This is not adding up. The entire thing is that they can't be honest with this. Just be honest with us. Tell us that you make more money off of Little Timmy and his dumbass fucking friends who suck their thumbs while they go 10-9 on Nuketown 24/7 or Stakeout 24/7 or whatever than you do if you have a lot of people, adults and old players playing your game. You don't care so much about the player counts, you care about the money counts. And the matchmaking system you've implemented, which, gaslights people and makes them think that they're way better than they actually are if they're dog shit at the fucking game, makes you more money. Just admit it. That's what you're doing. Just tell the truth. We would respect you as a community if you just flat out said, we're keeping this matchmaking system in the game because it makes us more money. Stop with this bullshit. Stop lying to us. We know that's what you want. That's what your entire fucking industry is built on. We're in late stage capitalism here in the 2020s. No shit, you want as much money as possible. but you can't just lie to us about it. We have literal data from Steam charts staring us in the fucking face. We have data from PlayStation staring us in the face, which told us that people dislike your current game so much, not for the matchmaking, but because it's Black Ops 7. It's like a fucking DLC for a shitty game that was Black Ops 6. It's no wonder players are leaving that to play Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 in the millions. Black Ops 2 was so popular, it beat out Fortnite. Why are we not consulting that data where that game had essentially zero skill-based matchmaking? Why are we not looking at the data for the game that released with no new updates, no new content, beating out the biggest game in the fucking world? And back to the whole initial data point here, okay? The 2023 to 2025 initial community note. I know it's hard to follow, sorry. I'm sorry, seriously. How does data skew from 2023 to almost the exact opposite in 2025 to back to what it was in 2023 in the span of like 9 months, 10 months? How does that work? Can someone explain it to me like I'm 5? Can we summon Albert Einstein with a Ouija board to perhaps just break this down for all of us peons here? I'm just, let's continue though. Let's continue with the tweet here. This is just a longer video. I apologize, but you have timestamps. Let's get to the next piece of the tweet in that thread. We know some players like open, but the issues were clear. For 80% of players in BO7 from launch to Season 4, open versus standard saw 32.7% higher quit rates, 14.4% fewer kills per minute, 5.3% lower win rates. None of this is making sense. They're just making up numbers. I swear to you. 59.2% more not fun ratings. On Nuketown 24/7, quit rates jumped to 141%. Our most competitive players were leaving 1 in every 3 matches. Quit rates skyrocketed, and it was disruptive across every skill group. Real quick, before I read the next part, they conditioned the player base to play like this and quit out instantly. You realize that, right? With playlists like Stakeout 24/7, anything on a small map is just pure brain rot ADHD gameplay. Giving us these small maps all the time skews the data. Like, as soon as they get what they want with their fucking camo grind or they unlock an attachment they want, they will quit out of that match. Wins and losses don't matter anymore because you've made them not matter. You did this. This has nothing to do with the quality of the game or how they're having fun or whatever. It has everything to do with the fact that you have basically made your game a cesspool. It's like just senseless fucking shooting. There's no goal aside from unlock attachment, unlock camo. Wins and losses do not fucking matter. So it's no wonder people quit when they get exactly what they want. They're in those quick brain rot playlists to do that. So that data specifically should be thrown out the fucking window. How are we this stupid? How are you this stupid? Not we. We, me, the players, the fucking people watching this video. We're not stupid. You are. There's a reason you've lost 90% of your player base. Where's the data on that? How do you explain that other than you releasing shitty fucking games year after year? You moronic twats! So that 141% jump should not be taken seriously at all. Like, I'm sorry, but it shouldn't. Regular like playlists should be looked at, yeah, but regardless though, this just does not make sense. Why was open matchmaking delivered to us as what the data suggested then? You know what I mean? Nothing these people say makes any sense, and they contradict themselves constantly. They think you, the person reading this tweet, are so fucking stupid, you're not going to question any of it. When it really gets down to it, that's what they think. But let's read the next part here. What about disbanding lobbies? Yeah, for those that don't know, they have added lobby disbanding again after this change in Black Ops 7, which absolutely no one complained about. Everyone wanted lobbies to stay together, and they finally got it in Black Ops 7. They say this, though. About 50% of players leave after the first match, and by game 3, almost none of the original lobby remains. Backfilling takes longer. Starting fresh gets players into a match faster and lets us prioritize ping better. But again, they got community noted. Look at this. The 50% statistic is misleading due to in-game reasons, two of which are actual limitations of the game itself, like the blocked abilities while in lobbies. You can't prestige your weapon. You can't prestige your player. You can't change game modes or playlists. You dislike a map or you get like a repeated map, you will leave that lobby and go to a different one. So yeah, they're right again. This data is so flawed. Let me just rattle off the rest of this shit show here, because this video is running a bit long. Two things we want to clear up. First, this is not a return to the tighter matchmaking of recent games, but everyone that's played it says it is. So, am I going to believe the account that's gotten community noted for lying 3 different times? Sorry, there's somebody with a small dick driving by outside. Apologies for that. Or am I going to believe the people that have actually play tested this, regardless? Second, every Call of Duty has had matchmaking that considers skill, including BO1 and BO2. There it is. Nero said this, and he made a big point about it in his video yesterday. The skill-based matchmaking that was in BO1 and BO2 was for literal handicapped people. I never saw it. It never affected me. And it was a fucking footnote. And I mean, especially in BO1. You know what I mean? It's just, I just, you cannot gaslight us. It's night and day, man. It's night and fucking day. Let's get back to it, though. But matchmaking has never been one switch, one location, one time of day, one playlist, one party composition, one platform. Crossplay settings and player population all affect how lobbies are built. The new system is finding a better balance across all of these for the best experience. They then go on to say something that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Some of our top players are facing tougher competition, but they're quitting less. Okay. Show us. Show us data. We hear the feedback from this group about wanting more match variety and wanting tougher matches to actually mean something. We have been giving you feedback about this for 7 fucking years. You absolute brainless schmucks. You're not going to do anything about it. We expect match variety will continue to improve for this group of players in the beta. The work isn't done. So what happens next? The MW4 beta will use the new system. Of course it will. We'll also have open matchmaking available so we can keep learning from both. I'll say this. I mean, I shouldn't even bother with it. But don't touch those regular matchmaking systems. Play only the open if you're going to play the Modern Warfare 4 beta. We'll keep looking at the data, listening to what players are telling us, and improving. No, you won't. Call of Duty is about having fun. No, it isn't. And matchmaking exists to support that. No, it doesn't. Our goal is simple. Make as much money as possible. Oh, sorry, I misread that. Make every match a good match. Well, you cannot please everyone all of the time, and a game made for everyone is a game made for no one, and that is exactly why Call of Duty has fallen to the depths that it's now in, near rock bottom. The game continues to fall on every single platform except for the ports of Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, which surprisingly has been left out of this data collection. There's way more I want to cover, actually, but again, I don't want to make this video too long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to most likely cover this in tomorrow's video with the COD Next stuff. And this is a cliffhanger a bit. This is a cliffhanger, but you're not going to want to miss tomorrow's video because I had Fully messaged me and he dropped a bit of a bombshell on me, and I'm just going to try to get to all of that in tomorrow's video. There's also the beta tomorrow, but I will be completely real with you. I'm Probably not even going to bother with it. We'll see how I'm feeling. On T Dog's last video, in closing, on T Dog's last video, where he expressed immense disappointment with the stuff I've covered in this particular video, the top comment is this, and I really think this just says it all. Look at it. So there it is, and I would encourage you guys to do the same thing, honestly. I would not buy this game. I would refund my pre-order. I would not even bother with the beta at all, to be completely honest with you. It may not seem like it, but we have the power here. We got the changes we got in the Black Ops 7 beta and the full game because we held these companies accountable and spoke with our wallet. All you have to do is to fucking have some balls for once in your life and not purchase this shit every single year, especially this year. That's all it takes. I promise you, there are so many more productive ways, better ways to spend your time in life than playing this dog shit franchise that treats you like an idiot, that wants nothing from you except your money. They wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire, okay? Like, it's not even, I'm not saying anything wrong here. You hook these fuckers up to a lie detector test. If they deny anything I just said, the shit would beep to the point of it being deafening. Let's please all get on the same page as a community and stay on Black Ops 1 and 2 if you bought those games, or just don't buy the new games at all. Don't buy any games at all. That's also a part of the community now. Be on the right side. Please do the right thing and stop supporting this company that treats its customers like idiots. I don't care if you're an idiot yourself. Stop, please. Let's please all get on the same page here. I'm out of time, though. If you guys enjoyed this, please, like I said, rate it, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you really liked what you saw. It helps the video get noticed, and I want everyone as possible. It helps the video get noticed, and I want everyone to see this. So, yeah, guys, I'm out. Peace.